So today, shall we discuss some common problem and useful guideline for project estimation?
Okay.
So, what do you think the challenges are?
I think one of the most common problem is insufficient analysis in the project estimation. So to overcome this, we all have to be clear on the scopes and requirements. If necessary, should define the constraint and assumption clearly as well. So the project team should work closely with the other stakeholders and clients. So in the defining the requirements and also in setting targets and the milestone, even for the changing the requirements. Then all the business needs, requirements, everything can be defined and documented straight away. So the development team can start do impact analysis on all the affected area based on the agreed requirements. So they can estimate properly so that the estimation will be realistic. I think.
I have another concern to make the more accurate estimation. I think we need to break down the project scope to the smaller tests so that we can make a more accurate estimation rather than to estimating the whole project. And there's another point is that we also need to include those technical aspects in our project estimation. And because they have a lot of better idea and better view of the impact based on their knowledge and experience. This way, we're very good input for our project estimation. And as mentioned by Joy before, right, the project estimation need to be done by the team. So the estimation competency of the team for each team member are very important because they might not aware that to consider those expected risks in their estimation, and they might make the different assumption in their estimation. So we need to arrange short meeting or workshop to align with them and to
for the team member.
To improve their skills.
I think estimation need to include some buffer based on the level of uncertainty to make adjustment. And also according to the estimate conversion graph, and different kind of buffer need to be included based on the estimation that we made in different phases of the project. And any other idea?
I think that project estimation will be easier and more accurate if we can use the historical data from the past estimate and the accurate result from the previous project as references. Because now most of the project estimation are facing challenges due to the lack of those data. And moreover, in software development lifecycle, we normally create documentation for those design and testing, right? But we rarely document the project experiences such as challenges, risks, how we manage time, how we manage budget, and what are the differences between the estimation phase and the real accurate process. So I think it's really necessary to record those things because the previous project experiences are really useful for the similar project estimation in the future.
I want to highlight one more thing to aware for the project estimation is that I think most of the project manager was brushed up by business development and the management team to keep the project estimation in the boundary of the target budget. So it might be the ideal case on the paper, but it's not realistic to achieve. So it might make the problem too difficult to alter the AC budget on the later phase. So in that case, the project manager need to highlight to the project team for the risk assessment because of this.
I think it is also important to use some appropriate tools for the project estimation so that they can help us to record and visualize the project progress compared to the estimates. I think manager can use the report from the tools so that we can make some adjustment and control over. So it very effective for the negotiating the project budgets and the time as well.
And I want to add one more point. I think as the estimation process, there's also assumption also need to be documented clearly. So it will be also necessary to communicate with customer to identify their estimation based on the project scope. And also if there are any changes in requirements and project scope, it will be useful to changes or to negotiate the additional costs. The last but not least is that project manager should also know their teams and deep understanding their team and communication with their team to get a better estimation. And that's all my point on today's discussion.
So anything you want to add on? No. So, and due to the time constraint, let's stop here.
Okay. We hope that the guideline and the lesson we have discussed today will be useful for project estimation